Hey YouTube, welcome back to Tinker with Tools. Today we are going to be covering Flex's new stacked lithium battery. The example I've got here today is their 3.5 amp hour battery, and we're going to see if it's worth the additional cost for you to upgrade. So let's get right into that on Tinker with Tools. So to jog your memory, last year DeWalt announced their power stack battery technology and came out with a small but mighty 1.7 amp hour power stack battery that featured lithium pouch cells versus cylindrical cells, which we had seen in all lithium ion batteries up till that point. Now Flex wasn't too far behind, nipping at their heels with their Flex stacked lithium, which featured essentially the same type of technology but in a 24 volt tool versus the 18 volt nominal or 20 volt max that you get over on DeWalt. Now today we do have the Flex stacked lithium 3.5 amp hour battery. This is their smallest stacked lithium battery. They also have it in a 6 amp hour and a 10 amp hour battery. So let's go ahead and do some testing with both the impact driver and the drill to see how stacked lithium compares to their traditional 18650 cell batteries in the 2.5 and the 5 amp hour battery. So let's go ahead and find out if stacked lithium is worth the amount of money that it would take to upgrade, or if you're okay just sticking with their cylindrical cell batteries. Let's get into that on Tinker with Tools. All right, so first we are running a fully charged 2.5 amp hour battery. We are going to be in speed 3 on the impact driver for all of these tests. So we are first going to run two 3.5 inch deck screws. First with the 2.5 amp hour. The sequence, we are going to be going to the 5 amp hour. Once again, fully charged 5 amp hour, two 3.5 with the 5 amp hour. And now with a fully charged stacked lithium battery. So now let's move on to the next faster. We are going to do 5 inch SPACs and then 5 inch power lags, and then we'll move on to some larger stuff. A 5 inch SPACs with the 2.5. 5 inch SPACs with the 5 amp hour. And lastly, 5 inch SPACs with the 3.5 amp hour stacked lithium. While we have that bit, let's just go ahead and do the 6 inch SPACs. A 6 inch SPACs with the 2.5. We'll take out a little bit of time for that. And now with the 5 amp hour. All right, now the 3.5. That was the first one there where I felt like there was a noticeable power difference between the 3 batteries. All right, and now we're gonna be doing a 5 inch SPACs power lag with the 2.5. With the 5 amp hour in 3, 2, 1. And now a 5 inch power lag with the 3.5. So we are going to do an 8 inch timber lock first with the 2.5 amp hour in speed 3. And now the 8 inch with the 5 amp hour in 3, 2, 1. With the 3.5 and 3, 2, 1. I don't know what the time difference is going to be, but that 8 inch that we just did with the stacked lithium really was impressive. All right, so now we are gonna go with our 5 inch by 3/8 inch SPACs power lag. First with the 2.5 amp hour. All right, and now the 5 inch by 3/8 inch power lag with the 5 amp hour. So the tool is getting a little warm. We obviously have just done a load of fasteners with it, and that last one was acting a little strange. All right, so we're doing now with the 3.5 amp hour. That's weird. Both with the 5 amp hour and with the other, it's almost like we hit a wall Okay, we're gonna switch over to the drills now. All right, so first we are down to 3 bars with the 2.5 amp hour battery, and we're gonna do a 6-inch timber lock. We are going to be on this drill in turbo mode, in speed 2, in drill mode to go ahead and start. All right, 6-inch timber lock with the 5. Well, that was a different experience. All right, and now the stacked lithium. So now we are going to be using first the impact driver, going through just a couple of spade bits just to kind of get a feel for that. First, we're going to do a 3/4 inch Diablo Speed Demon. All right, and now we are going to be doing the 5 amp hour with the 3/4 inch. All right, and now the 3.5 amp hour stacked lithium. All right, and now the 1 inch with the 2.5 amp hour battery. All right, now the 1 inch with the 5 amp hour. We are down to 3 bars on the 5 amp hour. The stacked lithium is still showing full bars. So we're still seeing kind of that same trend. On the lower battery, it does just fine, and then on both of the bigger batteries, it seems to trip up a little bit. I can't think of a common reason why on both of those batteries it would do it, other than if they were getting warm. The Flex stacked lithium is still cool to the touch. The impact driver's warm, but it's warm for all of the test. The 5 amp hour is also still cool to the touch. There's no apparent heat coming from the battery. So now we're gonna go over to some drilling with the tool that's made to do drilling. We're gonna start with a fresh 1 inch with the 2.5 amp hour. Once again, 3 bars. We are in speed 2 with turbo mode on. I'm gonna switch what hand this goes in so you guys can see better. Sorry if on that last one it was in the way. And now with the 5 amp hour 1 inch speed demon bit. And now with the stacked lithium. We are now moving up to 1 3/4 Irwin speed bore. This is more of your switchblade style bit. First with the 2.5 amp hour. So an instantaneous cutout. Let's go ahead and turn turbo mode off. Let's go down to speed 1. Let's see if we get the same results with the bigger 5 amp hour battery. So that was speed 2 with turbo mode on. You can see that the bigger battery just really plays a role in allowing the tool to unleash its power, if you will. All right, now stacked lithium. Let's take turbo mode off. There may be limits to what the smaller stacked lithium battery can do. I do think it gave some excellent benefits at times, but if I'm being honest, it felt a little inconsistent sometimes. I will say that I do feel like the stacked lithium, the 3.5, did perform on level with the 5, and sometimes it felt like it bested it. On that bigger drill bit, it just felt like it didn't have quite enough to give to be able to go through that. The stacked lithium is something that I feel like you're gaining benefits in numerous different areas. First off, the battery, competitive with the 5 amp hour in my opinion, just from what I felt during that testing, is only a little bit bigger than the 2.5 amp hour. But you are getting the power of a 5 amp hour battery in something more the size of the 2.5. One of the big complaints I had, especially with the impact driver, is when you put a big old 5 amp hour 24 volt battery on there that's already going to be bigger than a comparable 18 volt battery, it starts to get real heavy real quick and makes the tool feel a little bit out of balance. Now, the 6 amp hour, I imagine you're going to get better performance. I tried my hardest to get my hands locally on a 6 amp hour in time to do this video. I placed an order at one Lowe's. They said they had it. They didn't. I went to another Lowe's. They said they had it. They ended up not having it. If you've ever wanted to dip your toes into stacked lithium, I do think it's worth a try. The batteries are smaller. They do give you a little bit of boost in power. Well, you'll have seen the results. I think they're obviously an increase over the 2.5 amp hour battery. So if you like flex, but you don't love the size of the bigger battery, maybe this 3.5 is where you go. And if you do like flex and you're looking for even more power, I did notice on a couple of those fasteners that that 3.5 really did run better than the 5 amp hour. So maybe it's worth it to you to upgrade for that extra power. And then obviously if you're running the bigger tools, the 6 and the 10 amp hour are going to be where it's at for those tools. So go ahead and let me know what your experience is with stacked lithium. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe so you can see when I put out new content. If you have any questions or comments about it, please leave them down in the comments. And until next time, I'll catch you on Tinker with Tools.